Wait, did Mena just jeopardize her seat on the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 finale? Because that slap heard round the cast might have just became her ticket out of the reunion? Word on the street is that passions boiled over during a heated discussion backstage and things got real violent. Now producers are scrambling, security is on high alert, and fans are left wondering, is Erica ready to be banned from the grand finale? Sources close to production say the event has shook the reunion preparations to their core and that executives are definitely wondering if Erica should even be let back on set. With emotions running wild and cast members selecting sides, this drama is erupting much beyond anything anyone thought. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Erica's volcanic temper in hot water. But this time it might be her last straw. Does this stunning altercation mark the end of Erica's LHATL run? Or is there more to the tale than meets the eye? Stay tuned as we dissect every dramatic twist, betrayal, and accusation that might transform the Face Off Season 13 reunion forever. Cause this ain't just reality TV, it's reality fire. Erica sunk into the faded velvet couch in her dressing room, every fiber of her body shivering from the adrenaline surge. The muffled sound of crew footfall echoed outside the door, interrupted by urgent whispers and clipped demands. She put her fingers against her temples, wanting her heart to slow. But the images of the slap kept replaying in her mind like a twisted film reel. In her head, she could hear Jess's scream, the collective gasp of the audience, even the slight snap of the camera shutter. The room felt smaller with each passing second, as if the walls themselves were closing in to witness her doom. Outside, the reunion set sat scattered with shattered drink bottles, overturned chairs, and shards. Broken composure. Erica's moment of wrath had sent props flying and left hosts rushing to restore order. Word traveled through corridors and chat groups in an instant. Erica slapped Jess. The phrase became a drum baton reverberating through social media and beyond. Gossip bloggers lit up their feeds. Fan forums burst with speculation. Some labeled it a PR trick, others slammed it as unprofessional. But beneath the online tempest lurked a potent truth. Erica's image had broken. Back in the little room, Van sat beside her, voice quiet and anxious. "We need a strategy," he murmured. His normally fun tone was replaced by steely resolve. "This might get you blacklisted if we don't manage it right." Erica shook her head, strands of hair falling over her eyes. "I don't care about the show," she rasped. "I care about defending myself." He reached for her hand, but she gently slapped it away. "Not now," she whispered, her voice quivering. "I'm still processing." Meanwhile, producers convened in an adjacent control box, feverishly debating Erica's destiny. One executive voice, heavy with dread, pushed for quick removal. Another countered that reality TV lived on controversy. Ratings will explode, someone claimed, fingers lingering over a keyboard. This is gold. But another concerned about liability and network reputation. Surveillance footage was being analyzed, statements were being drafted, and legal counsel was on standby. The tension between artistic ambition for drama and corporate prudence crackled like electrical dot on the set floor. The remaining cast members crowded in uneasy groups. Monique, arms crossed, observed Erica's dressing room door as if it were a scene from a crime turmoil. Bambi bounced from foot to foot, phone in hand, fingers flying over the screen. "Fans are surprised," she announced, reading live tweets. Some are backing her, some are demanding she be fired. Duchess, always the mediator, tried to calm ruffled tensions. "Let's focus on comments," she advised. But her eyes reflected her own doubt. Allegiance lines had been formed and alliances shimmered on the point of collapse. Yandy lingered by, a cosmetic station voice barely above a whisper. She had inherited Erica's prior position as queen of through gritted teeth. She admitted to herself that she felt a pang of sympathy and a pang of terror. If Erica could control this spectacularly, what did it suggest for the rest of them? A tremor of self-preservation sparked in her eyes. She stepped away, confused whether to intervene or observe. In the halls outside, crew members juggled chores and gossip. A grip dragged away Erica's knocked-over prop champagne bottles, while a hairstylist reset another cast. Members' curls, the show must go on, or at least that was the motto screaming through walkie-talkies. A caterer popped in with a tray of sandwiches in hand, oblivious to the boiling drama. But the sandwiches were untouched, no one was hungry. A cameraman threw his shoulder, babbling about the trending film he'd shot. "This is going viral," he predicted. "We'll be famous for weeks." Back in the protection of her own space, Erica tried to control her breathing, touching the small red imprint on the back of her hand, confirmation that tears pricked the corners of her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. Instead, she ran a hand through her damp hair, smoothing strands that refused to cooperate. The reflection staring back at her in the small mirror was a stranger, fierce and damaged. Van scrutinized her profile, elated and afraid at the same time, sorrow shadowing his features. "We have to control the narrative," he claimed. His words were sensible, but his eyes begged for reassurance. Erica closed her eyes, drawing on a reserve of resistance. "They pushed me too far," she declared, her voice low but unwavering. "We don't accept blame, but we demonstrate that I will not be bullied." Van nodded slowly, relief and determination wearing on his face. "Okay," he said, "we do it." He dialed a number on speakerphone. "This is Van," he declared when someone answered. "We need to issue a statement concerning Erica's incident." He sketched a carefully designed narrative parody between offensive and defense, a plunge into the area's self-protection, a hint of regret without admitting of blame. As he spoke, Erica rehearsed her own script, silently measured, sincere, unrepentant. Inside, she still seethed, but her wrath took on a new focus, performance image, salvaging survival. At the same time, social media warriors prepared for fight. Influencers produced reaction videos from adjacent hotels. Fan accounts developed polls: should Erica stay or should she go? Memes came up showcasing Erica's outstretched arm, Jess' startled expression, the moment captured in pixelated legend. Some hashtags rallied for Erica's right to self-defense, while others denounced her rage on multiple platforms. The discourse splintered, each echo chamber nourishing its own version of events. In the distance, the faint hum of cameras. The reboot suggested that the production was not finished with them. The next portion of the reunion awaited, but none of the participants could shake off the reverberations of the slap. Residual tension permeated into every frame as they returned to their seats. The lighting crew adjusted spotlights, oblivious to the undercurrent of hatred. The audience crammed into the studio bleachers, buzzed with expectation, eager to witness whatever came next. Erica's single quotes as her thoughts flickered to her past. Confrontations on the show, betrayals, hidden alliances, family feuds. Each quarrel had grown, but never had she crossed the line into violence. This incident threatened to alter her legacy. She wondered how fans would remember her as a warrior, or how would this part play out? Would the network clip away at the first hint of discord? Would she even get to speak? The conversation started awkwardly with polite inquiries about personal updates, which Erica replied in clipped words, faking smiles when she had none. The audience, feeling nervousness, leaned forward and roared when the host eventually remarked, "Let's address the elephant in the room." The studio lights lowered dramatically, and a massive screen lighted with a slow-mo replay of the slap. In that instant, Erica felt each frame on the screen prod at her conscience. She saw her hand shoot forward, Jess's astonished face, the look of shock from stars. The music swell underscored the moment, turning reality into spectacle. Erica's heart thundered, but she kept a steady glance at the camera. The host's voice cut through Erica. "Why did you do it?" Erica leaned in, placing both hands on her knees, voice low but firm. "I was defending myself," she said. "For months I've watched rumors and half-truths were being thrown around about me, and this was my breaking point." The audience reacted with mixed shouts and groans, and someone cried, "Amen." Another boot came from the crowd, and the presenter nodded, raising his eyebrows. "Can you elaborate?" He pressed. Erica exhaled, repeating her side, the off-camera taunts, the whispered barbs, the betrayal she felt when Jess spread an unconfirmed rumor about her family. She spoke of loyalty, trust, and how it felt to Bevelane. Her words came steady, each sentence a delicate step on a tightrope between weakness and defiance. Just when the tension reached its pinnacle, Monique interrupted, voice crisp. "Erica, you crossed the line." Her tone was angry, not malicious, but unwavering. Erica turned to her, eyes blazing. "I crossed the line. You of all people." Monique raised a hand. "I'm not saying I don't understand why, but violence isn't the answer to the collision of their beliefs." Crackled like electricity as the host swiftly entered to steer the debate back, telling them to keep it peaceful. But what started as calm quickly unraveled. She leaned forward, connecting Monique's statement to fan backlash. "Social media is ablaze. remarked. Fans are shocked, emotions run high in the comments, and the network is watching. This could cost us all. Erica battled the impulse to roll her eyes. So now I have to apologize for standing up for myself, she asked the audience, with a chorus of yeses and nos, each chant pressing Erica to divulge more or retreat. Yandy Y then spoke, her voice laced with anxiety. We're family, she said. We quarrel, we make up, but this is on another level. Erica stared at Yandy, the grief and sorrow apparent in her gaze. Family, she echoed. Then why wasn't I protected? When those lies were uttered for a time, the stage grew silent as if everyone held their breath. Even the crew lights seemed to flicker in anticipation of the next move. The drama pivoted when a surprise video clip aired. Behind-scenes footage of Jess addressing Erica earlier that week. Her own warnings when viewers saw Jess laugh as Erica stormed out, exchanged violent arguments. The tape altered the narrative by showing that both parties shared blame. Gasps and murmurs as swept through. Erica sat back, arms crossed, allowing the tape to speak volumes. Seeing a chance, Vaughn appeared on the screen via a pre-recorded message filmed in private, speaking straight to fans. We all make errors and emotions get the best of us, and Erica's performance severe, but it was a reaction to months of anxiety. His tone was genuine, almost imploring, and Erica listened with a mix of relief and apprehension. This was her champion speaking. But would it sway the public as part 2 of the aftermath unfolded? The network's internal counsel, a graphic highlighted bullet points of probable results: suspension, contract renegotiation, forced apology tour, or outright expulsion from the finale. The host recalled that nothing was settled. The network will decide, he stated. But we want to hear from you. The screen split, showing real-time poll results. 47% wanted Erica removed, 38% wanted her to stay, 15% were uncertain. The numbers bounced across the screen, each percentage a blow to Erica's confidence. Meanwhile, back in the audience, fan reactions played out in real time. Some had placards reading Team Erica, others no violence, and a small pocket of supporters held up a banner: self-defense isn't a crime. The crowd's excitement ebbed and flowed with each poll update noise. Technicians battled to regulate the oral clamor coming from the stands, stitching together cheers, liquor, and wild reactions into the show's stream. Erica felt her resolve slip. The sliver of uncertainty she had buried surged like a tsunami. What if the network did ban her? What if her reputation was permanently tainted? She forced her jaw to stay unclenched, telling herself that this ceiling stuck between personal truth and professional survival. As the clock crept toward prime time, the studio lights lowered once more. Erica went onto the set, breathing in with conscious care. The audience's murmur swelled, cameras rotating on her. She sank back into her seat, hands folded, the host indicated, and suddenly the world felt suspended. Quiet reigned for a heartbeat before she began, voice steady. I want to address what occurred. I'm sorry the situation escalated. I never expected things to go that far. Her words were peaceful yet had an undertone of steel. She paused, letting her apologies fall before continuing. It was a moment of letting my guard down. In no way do I condone violence. I am taking steps to better manage my emotions. A flash swept over her face. Vulnerability, raw and real to those who felt unsafe or let down. I apologize to those who understand why I reacted. And thank you for your support. The cameras lingered on her face, capturing every subtle shift of emotion. The audience reaction was a complex mixture of polite applause and reluctant nods, and a few murmurs as of ascending. Monique looked at her, expression relaxing. Duchess sat forward, hands clasped. Yandy's eyes shimmered in a silent gesture of solidarity. The host congratulated her for her courage, assuring that the network would make a choice. After full review, Erica sighed, the tightness in her shoulders dissolving slightly. Yet the aftermath went beyond the set. Behind, in the control room, executives collated viewer input and legal recommend the polls. Previously a dagger at her reputation, now crept toward forgiveness. 52% wanted her back, 33% wanted an apology tour, 15% undecided. Another exec commented, spring and their voice. We can maintain the finale star power and make this into a redemption. ARC Legal agreed there was no breach serious enough to invalidate her contract. Tension reduced as consensus. Erica walked to her dressing room, fatigued but strangely soothed. Vaughn joined her arms, unfolding her in a reassuring embrace. You owned it, he murmured, and they heard you. She leaned into him, relief and leftover nerves blending. Now we wait, she said, head on his shoulder, eyes closed. The storm had passed one boundary, But ahead lay more decisions, more scrutiny, and the looming question of whether she would take her place on the finale stage. Only time and then determine. Erica slumped onto the plush armchair backstage, her limbs heavy as if weighted down by every accusing stare. In the studio, bright stage lights flooded through the half-open door, splashing over the patterned carpet, yet she felt as if she were in a cave of quiet surrounding her. Crew members hurried past, their voices low yet anxious, like wasps chirping warnings. Erica's chest heaved with rapid breaths, the slap replaying in her memory on a loop, each echo resonating through every nerve ending. "Are you okay?" Van's voice pierced the haze. He crouched next her, concern softening his features. She lifted a shaking hand. "I'm not sure," she managed. A pulse of sweat traced down her temple. "My heart feels like it's tearing itself apart." He placed a steadying hand on her back. "You did what you felt you had to." But she shook her head, tears pooling in her eyes. "It's too much." Through the narrow window, she caught sight of Monique pacing like a predator stalking its prey. Every few steps, Monique paused to glare at locked door, fingers tapping a rhythmic warning on her chin. Erica remembered Monique's words just hours before. "Don't let them get inside your skull." But perhaps the whispers had already burrowed in. The memory of Monique's steely look cut deeper than any slap could. Suddenly the door burst open. Duchess swept in, clipboard in hand, voice clipped. "We need a statement immediately." Her tone brooked no argument. Van rose and faced Duchess. "Let her breathe." Duchess's eyes flicked between them. "Network isn't going to wait." She turned on her heel, leaving as quickly as she had arrived, leaving Erica and Vaughn in tense stillness. Erica closed her eyes, putting her palms to her temples. The back of her hand tingled where Jess's cheek had brushed her palm, and I recall the moment slowing down. She mumbled, his shocked gaze horror. Van swallowed. It was visceral. She breathed sharply, inhaling long and deliberate. "I needed them to feel what I felt every day." The corridor buzzed with tension. Somewhere beyond the door, makeup artists and hairstylists murmured strategy. The slap had become the show's. Fan communities online burst with speculations about whether it was real or manufactured, but Erica knew the truth was raw and ugly, well beyond sensationalism. "We need to control the narrative," Vaughn whispered, voice thick with urgency, as Erica pulled. Her cheeks were strewn with mascara. "What do you suggest?" she asked, her voice scratchy but inquisitive. He slid his phone across the table, displaying a draft statement acknowledging the incident and expressing regret for allowing it to escalate, but frame it as a reaction to months of provocation. He offered. Erica gave out a trembling giggle. "I can scarcely speak." He placed a water bottle in her lap. "Start small and tell them why you were there." She grabbed the bottle, her fingertips brushing across it. "I was there because individuals I considered family betrayed me in front of millions." A sudden knock at the door shocked them. Bond stood. "They're ready for filming." Erica rose, legs wobbly. The room spun for a minute, as if the walls themselves shook. She clutched the armrests, steadying herself. "I'm ready," she lied. Despite the trembling dot on stage, the host's taunting conversation welcomed her back like barbed wire. Erica blinked against the glare, blinking till the world wrote itself. She found her seat, the plush couch cold beneath her. Alongside her, and Monique offered a tentative Enid, an olive branch or a prelude to greater confrontation. She couldn't tell. The host pushed forward. "Erica, let's talk about what occurred." The audience waited, its breath 100 invisible eyes searing holes through her. Erica inhaled, exhaled slowly. "I lost control," she began, voice quiet but steady. "I'm here to explain why." A murmur rippled through the room. Anticipation or doubt? She couldn't tell. She met the host's gaze, willing her words to land. "For weeks I've been portrayed as the villain. Rumors swirled about my allegiance, character, and family. Every day I woke up feeling small, invisible, unheard." Heat grew in her cheeks that night. "I reached my limit." Questions came quick. Why not walk away?